All right, exit out. Y'all ready?
All right, good. Oh, yeah, wait, he started.
Okay.
Here. Right? Shalom.
Shalom.
This is the brothers of GMS New Orleans and Lake Charles coming at you with another live camp, from the heart of the beast, Babylon, the great America. But before we get started, as always, we're going to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahushua by Hashem Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who ruled and teach well, and peace and salutations to you sincere Akim out there, pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe, made brothers enduring to the end, and to the very few sincere Akwat out there diligently learning in silence. Shalom. And we're gonna get straight into it with 1 Corinthians 4 and 9. The brother got that.
It says, "For I think that our power has set forth us, the apostles, last, as it were appointed to death. For we are made a spectacle unto the world, and to angels, and to men."
And I'm going to get that word spectacle in the time.
It's the word spectacle in the Strongs. It says, theatre, like theater, yeah. It says a theater, a place in which games and dramatic spectacles are exhibited, and public assembly held for the Greeks used the theater also as a forum, a public show, a man who is exhibited to be gazed at and made sport of.
And we brought this out because they got a little plaque on this brick wall behind us saying this used to be called the Arcade Theater. And in Lake Charles here, they said a bunch of performers from out of town would come here specifically to perform for the town. And hey, as we went into that word theater, a place of in which games and dramatic spectacles are exhibited, and it says a metaphor, a man who is exhibited to be gazed and made sport of, or a public show. And as it said, "For I think that the Most High has set forth us, the apostles, last, as it were appointed to death. For we are made a spectacle, a theatron, unto the world, and to angels, and to men." And hey, it only makes sense that the men of the Lord, are bringing out this word in the theater right now, this public place, because what? This is a public show and a public condemnation on Babylon the Great, America, and the great judgment that's about to come upon it. And the brother here was saying, what were you saying about the river back there?
So basically, right here, where we at, right behind us. All right, every year, like summertime, is an event, right, called Contraband. And what do they do? They basically give praise and have like a celebration to God by the name of John Lafitte. He used to import contraband, but really the contraband and things that they were bringing in, it was importing jakes. Right here when we at the port.
And they had and then they built this thing called the Arcade Theater here. So what? Jake was brought as a public spectacle, to be sold as contraband. So that's how Jake got to America. And it only makes sense that the prophets are here prophesying when Jake was brought into slaves to what? Prophesy the downfall of this place.
Say something too. That same Gene Lafitte dude, me and the other brother from Lafayette, we was running in by him one day. Same, because originally, back in the day, Lafayette was originally in the Garden District of New Orleans till the Gene Lafitte dude decided to move the town to Lafayette. But he ain't able to goddamn devil too, man. It's history all throughout this state. Like I said, we can easily drive 5, 10 to 20 minutes away and run into a plantation. Right? At the plantation where they getting married there, they having parties, all type of shit there, man. But these rivers tell that, like this brother doing to these rivers here that run off the Mississippi, they tell the story of how they used to run Jake with these boats up and down as harbors to bring Jake in, right? Because New Orleans was the main hub, right? And they set these three guys up by the name of Apple Pipe is one. You had John Slidell, Judah Benjamin. I think the dude's name was Judah Benjamin or some shit. Or Jacob Jacob Benjamin. But just roughly paraphrase, you can probably find him Yeah, them guys was set up over that whole slave trade situation, man. Right, and they bringing Jake all throughout the South, man. Right, Lake Charles, Lafayette, right, New Orleans, Baton Rouge. Those are that whole I-10. You know, it was used to run Jake up and down, even in that Mississippi. That run from here then to the Canadas, man. They was running Jake all in St. Louis to Chicago. They coming from here. Yeah, Judy Binston. Yeah, I had his name right. Yeah, he cried it out.
Real quick, the one's got it. This is Baruch chapter 4, verse 24. It says, like as now the neighbors of Zion have seen your captivity. It says, so shall they see shortly your salvation from our power, which shall come upon you with great glory and brightness of the everlasting.
Hey, again, that Theatron made a public spectacle. Jake was made a public spectacle when he was brought in chains to serve as slavery in America. You know, when we were on our way here, the elder brother was talking about how on a place in New Orleans called the River Wall, they used to have the chains along the River Wall to where when Jake got off the ships, you know, they would chain him there. So what? Everybody could look at him.
They were shackling to the ground in lines, man. I remember being a young boy going on a field trip around the place called Congo Square. You know, going back to the Congos of Africa. But they showed around the Congo Square, you can have these hitches on the ground. And you can put Jake and chain Jake up until they get finished numbering them, head counts and shit. But it shows you, like we're gonna do Lord willing in the future, we're gonna do on location at it. Right? Because when we used to walk the camp, a block or two and a half the camp, used to have a building. They still got the old writings from time of slavery on it saying the cotton exchange, man. The slaves used to exchange the cotton for wages and money, man, for the slave master. Right along with what it is, the hotel, Omni Hotel. You got the old slave son with the one with
Peter.
the one with Emmett Till on it. You got that one? Yeah, with that picture that the apostles got with Emmett Till on it, you see Emmett Till to the right, you have a picture to the left of the auction blocks, like they up there bidding for them. That actual picture was taken in the waters, man. At the Omni Hotel.
And the lady that actually the white woman, she lives out here in Sulphur. Westlake? Yeah, right here in Westlake, like 10 minutes away, if that. You know, and they just recently came out and said that it was her.
Yeah.
Festival shit.
Yeah, but she was checking out. She only had fucking weeks to live. I think she died. She recently died, man.
Yep.
That damn devil.
She just waiting to come back. She's gonna be Emmett Till slave in the kingdom. And,
She's gonna be Emmett Till.
Yeah, exactly.
She's gonna be her like Emmett Till.
Get that floody face. But as I said, like is now the neighbors of Zion have seen your captivity, Jake being made a spectacle, being brought in here for slavery. So shall they shortly see your salvation from our power, which shall come upon you with great glory and brightness of the everlasting. And you know, that's beginning right now. The apostles, the disciples, the prophets being set up last to be made a spectacle before the world and before men and before angels. In the very same places where Jake was serving hardcore slavery, you got the prophets saying, look, we went in for our own transgressions and now it's your turn to go into slavery and for us to see your call. And you're going to be made a spectacle in the kingdom when you get those cold iron chains slapped on you. If you read that verse 25.
This group 25, it says, my children suffer patiently the wrath that has come upon you from the Most High. It says, from thine enemies have persecuted thee, but surely thou shalt see his destruction and shalt tread upon his neck.
Hey, my children suffer patiently the wrath that has come upon you from the Most High. The faith and the patience of the saints, as it says in Revelation 13. For thine enemy hath persecuted thee, he that killeth with the sword, he that leadeth into captivity. But shortly thou shalt see his destruction and shalt tread upon his neck. And right now we're seeing Esau and America's destruction happening in real time. The economy's on the verge of collapse. This country's going to go into World War III. There's going to be civil unrest. And then what? Yahweh Shah is going to make his second coming to save his elect, shoot those nukes onto this plate, cracking open that golden dome, which Trump was talking about. And then when the dust settles, what? Then, the fun begins. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity, and he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. It's going to be time for the reverse slave trade. But I know you were both you guys.
John, this Joel 3 and verse 5. We read down to 7. It says, because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things, the children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem, verse 3 sons. It says, and they have cast that, and they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine that they may drink.
And hey, that fits so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, especially these so-called Negroes, to a T. When you look at the history of our people, boys were literally sold to harlots. They got that scene in Goodbye Uncle Tom where you had that sodomite rubbing up those young boys with that gold paint. And then, you had a Jake down in the South who was used as a breeder. They just had him sleep with hundreds of women a day just to, create more slaves.
I just reading the things. They had actual plantations where they used to harvest Jake like cattle just to eat them. They was eating so-called Negroes, man.
Yeah, that book called The Delectable Negro.
Yeah, they was eating Jake, man. Do you hear me? Edomites were eating so-called Negroes here in America, man. Cannibalism, right? Making couches, chairs, and belts and lamps out of their skin, stools out of their skin, man. Even removing the teeth out of their mouths to put in their mouths, man.
Okay, yeah, Oregon, that's a major play out, like the truth based on the truth. It's true, it's actually the truth. Yeah, according to the Bible. They put officers on big horses and shit. You know, even one guy that they killed at that school when they put him in their raw. Yeah, I know. They opened up, they did the autopsy and they opened up they had newspaper in there.
Yeah, because on the black market, I went into that last night on the video. All right, and that's the plans of these elites, according to House Bill 1247, 1274, I believe. All right, the guillotine provision. Then the guillotine provision, all right, they're looking to push the execution of these so-called Americans, all right, through the guillotine to basically preserve your organs, man. And personally, who got the biggest and most healthiest organs of all the 18 nations? 12 tribes, man. You're gonna be the main people on that list to get your heads chopped off, man. You got the biggest, strongest heart, lungs, kidneys, spleen, all right, eyeballs, all that shit is a lot of money on the black market, man. And who runs the black market? These devils, these elites. All right?
Got something to back you up. This is that book, The Delectable Negro, which came out in 2014, and it was written by Vincent Woodward. And the full title is The Delectable Negro, Human Consumption and Homoeroticism Within the U.S. Slave Culture. In the overview, it says, The Delectable Negro explores the homoeroticism of literal, meaning it actually happened, and metaphorical acts of human cannibalism, coincidence with slavery in the United States.
Yeah, that was going on. They had certain, like I said, you had certain plantations set up for slaves popping other slaves. Or that's where that term motherfucker come from. Because they was actually fucking their mothers, man. All right, their aunts, their close kin. Right? The biggest, strongest buck would do that, man. Then you had plantations where they were just eating Jake. You got cows, you may have them for what 52 months. And on the 52 months, you go slaughter. But they were doing that with Jake. They would get Jake all fat and plump, let him work, do his thing, and then they eat him. That's the history of the so-called white man here in the South and throughout America, man. But it wasn't just going on in the South. It was going on all throughout America. Right? It's history all throughout this bitch, man.
It's like the William Lynch said, the making of a slave.
Yep.
That's still in effect and ultimately embedded within these Edomites. That spirit is in the Edomites, whether you see it now or not. You can't change the spirit. The spirit say, well, his spirit that is in him is not upright. So that goes through his bloodline. No? There ain't no such thing as a good Edomite.
Only good Edomites are dead Edomites. Right? You go out, you go to the mid central Louisiana. Hey, you look like you back in time. The attitude of the so-called whites up there is the same attitude in the 1920s, 1860s, man. They don't like you niggas, man. And that's what a lot of you jakes, you modern YNs, you GMO babies, you don't find out, right? That the hate still runs strong and deep throughout America, right? Preferably in the South. You Edomites can't wait to get on you jakes' ass, man, when all hell breaks loose. What you think they got all this ammunition stored up with? What you think them Edomites, what the fuck you think them Edomites doing? When you in the clubbing, bullshitting, you got Edomites at home making bullets. They got these manual machines where you put the bullet on there, you put the bullet, the top of the bullet, the case, the powder, all that shit, and they just do this all day. And that thing is spinning around, it's making bullets all day. You niggas in there doing the trip out dance, fucking around, man. Right? Listening to that dog face nigga, Rob 49. Helly, this nigga at home getting it in, man. It kill you. Go ahead,
They couldn't talk about that in Micah the 2nd chapter. You know, they sleep not up on their bed. They sit up on their beds and think about ways to destroy you niggas.
Man, these devils are making pipe bombs, man. That fucking Timothy, you were young with Timothy Vane. Well, Timothy Vane took out a whole fucking building. Yeah. That devil took out a whole building, now. You think he might on here fucking around? They got history. Yeah, what's up? Where's on, man? But they got history of it's a count. It's a count where Ku Klux Klan have purposely went join the army to learn skills, war tactics, to bring that information home to do what? Train others around them to go up against you, Jake. Yeah.
That altars that only you gotta have an invitation to get them. That's secrecy.
It's the way and all that stuff. That's all great for them. Yeah. Keep the community fight for the what? On the ride and kill you fucking jakes, man. They're in agreement with themselves, brother. They're the auto fighters, like the brother said, they steady making weapons and swords. And they spirit, listen, they're in the right spirit. It don't matter what Jake, they need them right there against us. No, y'all was made contrary to us, man. But Jake's seeking love, man. We gotta hold hands. No. Go hand join in hand, the wicked cannot be uprooted.
And these devils only gonna last home to us.
Yeah, they know it. And they right minds.
They know it, man.
They right minds. You got Ezekiel 35 and 5. And Ezekiel 21 started 9 by the shot.
This Lamentation chapter 1 and verse 2. It says she weeping sore in the night, and her tears on her cheeks. Among all her lovers, she had none to comfort her. All her friends have dealt treacherously with her. They are become her enemies. Judah is going into captivity because of affliction and because of great servitude. She dwelleth among the heathen. She findeth no rest. All her persecutors overtook her between the straight.
And that's the history of our people. We're going off and want to follow after the heathens. What? The Lord gave us up over to those heathens, these nations that despise us more than anything, especially these Edomites. As it said, Judah is gone into captivity because of the affliction and because of great servitude. She dwelleth among the heathen. She findeth no rest. All her persecutors overtook her between the straits. And when we jump to Lamentations 4:19, it says, "What our persecutors are swifter than the eagles of heaven. They have pursued us upon the mountains. They laid wait for us in the wilderness." Verse 18, "They hunt our steps that we cannot go in our streets. Our end is near. Our days are fulfilled." Backing up that Lamentations 1. His persecutors are ultimately talking about these Edomites.
Okay, to match that up, you gotta go to Deuteronomy 28 chapter on the 48, 46, 48 verse. Tell you about you can get it from me, man. Tell you about that's the same eagle. That's the same guy, man. Representing the same person, same guy.
Hey, tracing it back to Genesis 2, the 25th chapter. Going to Genesis the 25th chapter, how he thought Edom was a cunning hunter. That spirit's still in him, That's who he hit a hunt. You Jakes, you Negroes, Latinos, and natives.
When it was our steps. I want to say further in the Lamentations that the daughter Jerusalem punishment is accomplished. Because with now the Lord is starting to chase. They say they shall be like a chased virgin, right? And the Lord's starting to chase them. The curse is starting to come on them. Deuteronomy 30. So the tide is changing. You saying the paradigm shift, man. The phoenix not coming out the ashes, baby.
Right.
You ain't rising no more. All right, they're not gonna fill the face of cities no more, according to the book Isaiah. For what 14 and 21, man. They ain't no nephew, son, and daughter being cut off, man.
That Florida has already been prepared.
There you go. The Lord is sharpening his sword, man.
It's Deuteronomy 28 and 48. Going into the curses that would take place on Jacob for breaking the covenant, breaking the law, statutes, and commandments. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which Yahweh shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. And when people say slavery, the first thing that comes to mind is what? So-called black people with what? Chains around their neck. They don't got a shirt on. They got the chains around their ankles and wrists getting let alone. And, as I said back in that Lamentations 1, Judah has gone into servitude and affliction, being in the midst of her enemies, those persecutors, which is going to further elaborate in verse 49. Yahweh shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth.
It's the same eagle.
A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
And you definitely understand their tongue when they came speaking Portuguese, Spanish, English. What's another one? And French.
Dutch.
Right? Because we in Louisiana, they have something called the Louisiana Purchase, man.
English too.
English, yeah. And the French mostly conquered here, right? In this part of the South, man.
Yeah, it was the French colony.
Yeah. It's supposed to have been purchased by what his name is? Napoleon.
Yeah, he sold it. He sold it
for $1 million. I think sold it for about $1 million or something.
And it went from like Louisiana all the way up to whatever that northern state,
Canada almost. The whole little strip is for that.
Con. But hey, as Elder Brother was going into, it's getting to the point to where Esau is really going to show them horns towards you Israelites, which is a hatred he's always had. When you look at those that voted for Trump back during these past elections, the majority of the southern states were in red. And we already see the spirit Trump's coming in, taking away DEI, which is mainly affecting you women, which is a beautiful thing, bringing back that old, proud American spirit, which, Trump going to turn against all Americans at the end of the day, but he's rousing up that ancient spirit in you Edomites, which you've had towards our forefathers since Jacob supplanted the blessing and the birthright from your forefather Esau. You got that, Ezekiel?
Well, I got it.
Kind of get that Ezekiel 35 real quick. 35 and 5.
This is Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 5. It says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end.
Kind. And when you read up, it said, prophesy against Mount Seir, which just as Jerusalem is a people before it's a place, Mount Seir is a people before it's a place. So this is directed towards you Edomites. And as it said, thou hast had a perpetual hatred. And when you go into that word in the Strongs, in the outline of biblical usage, it says from antiquity or the past to futurity to the future, everlasting, never ending. So it's ingrained within these Edomites to hate these so-called white people, to hate you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans.
Yeah, we know through the scriptures, there's no getting along, man. It's a great gulf fix between us two, right? Genesis 25th chapter tell you that there was two nations in our womb, two men of the people that must be separated. Here you got niggas, right? You got niggas by the bonfire holding hands, talking about we are the world. All right, you niggas bumped the fucking heads, man. All right, you can feel the tension. In these times, you can feel the tension You walk in some of the stores with the Edomites, man. Edomites ready to get it on with you niggas, man.
Hey, who's that Jake that just recently stabbed that Edomite at that track meet?
His name is
Carmelo Anthony.
You really saw the tensions build up with that because you had a lot of Jakes, giving him the thumbs up on that and donating damn near $1 million to his GoFundMe. And then in retaliation, you had that Edomite lady, Shiloh Hendricks, that flicked off that 5-year-old Jake boy and called him a nigger. And she raised nearly $100 million. And it created this whole new hashtag out here called Black Fatigue, where these people out here, these Edomites especially, are getting sick of you Jakes and this ghetto culture you show. But really, that just goes back to them hate you Jakes all the time. Now they're just able to more vocalize it.
The tension, we say the tension is thicker than a German guard dog, man. Slav Nazis there. Tension is like from the Nazis there. You can see it. Nigga tired of fucking with you, Jake. We tired of fucking with you niggas, man.
And the Lord got black fatigue.
Hate fucking with you, Jake, man. There's a number of problems with you. Right? But this devil, he ready to get it off, man. Right? That's why he gonna pay. He paid over 10 to 20 million, 20 to 20,000 over the asking price for a house just to get around you, man. What did they do? They actually what they call it, gatekeeping. Gatekeeping when you fill out your application, they sitting there. Hey, Tyrone Jenkins? No. Lakeisha McCray?
Appraise your house lower than the value that it's actually worth.
Yeah, that was proven with Jake. Jake got his white friend actually act like he's something in the house, and the house went over the amount he was asking, but when he was doing it was below, way below.
That's why when you see like in certain, which not certain, all of, in suburban areas where you got a good estate at, every time Jake move, what you might say, them niggas leave.
Yeah,
They go
appreciate. They got their little neighborhood watch. Hey, you seen who's black guys, man? They kicking rocks.
White flight is what they call it.
Yeah. Hey man, Jay gonna play loud music. Jay gonna have them hoes fighting outside the house, stabbing ties up. Right, having a world star moment.
Trash all in the front yard.
Trash, pit bull shit, glass, joints hanging on the goddamn power lines. You name it, man. And them niggas gonna be standing outside the car, smoking that weed, man. All night. Car and truck is running. They might have a nigga or two come through and shoot the place up. If you're not watching.
Don't let Keisha get that Section 8 money and move into a nice place.
Oh yeah, if Keisha get that Section 8 money, or if she get that voucher movie in the neighborhood, she gonna run a complete meat factory out that house, man. You gonna have niggas coming out there galore, man. All right,
start trapping out there, man.
trapping and everything.
A lot of dislocated jaws.
Yeah, doing hell. Niggas gonna be selling icebergs, nachos, you name it. Pills, you name it, man. They gonna call
Ice cream.
I was thinking about ice cream.
Yeah, man. Them niggas was sick, man.
That nigga ride away and just shot up his girlfriend car, but the neighbors, he shooting all over up by the neighbors and shit, man.
Yeah, man, you
14 times, man. The neighbor called the police on his ass, man.
they had that nigga on the lineup. That nigga was 6'3", 330.
Nah, he 5'7".
Yeah,
5'7", dude, so he look like a bomb.
Nigga said he was built like a bomb. God damn, bro.
The neighbors called and all this disturbing. Bought one of my houses over there by Edom, called the police on his ass.
You that big and fat, you can't put your finger on the trigger. Your finger too big. Squeeze the goddamn trigger, man. What that?
Shirt tires.
Yeah, that nigga always big. Whoa! Hey, that nigga, you tripping, man.
But you Jakes, as Apostle Tahar always says, you Jakes have just been living in the West too long. You really bought this Kool-Aid that everybody can come and be together and just live that American dream. when you just look at our condition, with each successive generation, things get worse and worse. And you would think it would dawn on you that this place is not meant for you. As it says in Micah 2, verse 10, arise and depart, for this is not your rest. And then you have the prophets out here, again, being that spectacle under the world, under angels and the men, telling you, Jakes, what it is and what's going to happen. But you fan the hand at it. So Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, the next thing to come is what? Judgment. You know, the whole head is sick. And can you be stricken anymore? The only thing left is to go back to the spirit world. And Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai is going to turn this Edomite, this pine saw smelling white man that you love so much, against you. But there's a brother that Ezekiel 21 and 9. Okay.
Got it. Okay. This is Ezekiel 21 and verse 9. It says, son of man, prophecy. It says, thus saith the Lord. Say a sword is sharpened, and it is fervent. And what did King David say in Psalm 17 and verse 13? Yahweh, protect me from the wicked, which is thy sword. And we know who that wicked is. The border of wickedness in Malachi 1 verse 4, and the wicked whom the earth has been given into the hands of in Job 9 verse 24. He saw Edom, the so-called white man. Keep going on. Verse 10, it say, it is sharpened to make a sword slaughter. We say it is fervent that it may should we make mercy? It is continuous, the rod of the sun as every tree. It said it is sharpened to make a sword slaughter. Backing up what the elder brother was saying. You got Edomites right now as we speak. You got Jake out here getting wet, eating ice cream. Well, you got Edomites in a basement somewhere pressing bullets. Yeah. Thinking about a nigga in their mind's eye, and how many times they're gonna light your body up till it catches on fire. But
Oh, not that, man. You feel to go watching it.
oh yeah.
Honestly.
Wherever the men of the Lord go, some brothers, go to the same places regularly. Best believe in these tall buildings, they got a guy with that telescope looking at you. Sometimes with business suit on, sometimes. But as it says, it is sharpened to make a sword slaughter. It is fervent that it may glitter. Should we then make birth? Should we then be having good time? Should we be considering going out on Saturday and get struck at the club a bunch of 2/3 and heathens go? Now, of course, there are times where you go let your hair down, so to speak, but you shouldn't be in that spirit of mirth and rioting. You should really be in that spirit of mourning and humbleness and coming back to your power. Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. Oh yes, read down to you can read down to verse 12, and you got it, Kaya, and then verse 11. It says, and he had given it to be perfect, that it may be healthy. This sword is sharpened, and it is fervent, to give it into the hand of the slayer, into the hand of the slayer, the son of perdition, which when you go into that word perdition, it means destruction, utter destruction. Hey, he's the poster boy for Isaiah 13. But as it said, it was given into the hand of the slayer, and it is furbished. Esau, Edom, the Lord is about to put that spirit on him to pull out that sword for one last time. And best believe he's going to show his ass. As it says in Revelation 12, verse 12, the devil is going to come down in great wrath because he knoweth that he had for the short time. Get that verse 12 out?
Okay, it say, cry and howl. It say, son of man. It say, for it shall be upon the people.
Upon my people.
Upon my people, Salaki. It say, and it shall be upon the prince of Israel. Terrors by reason, it say, of the sword shall be upon my people. Smite thereof upon the high, upon the thigh.
Hey, 2 times it mentions who this sword that the slayer is going to swing is going to be put on. My people, the princes of Israel. And it says, terrors by reason of the sword shall be upon my people. Cry and howl, son of man, because these terrible times are quickly coming down the pipeline to where men, women, children, young and old aren't going to be spared. And the men of the Lord, hey, brother, don't take that bite. We're telling you, that we're coming into the times of Jacob's trouble, which is going to be worse than any other point in human history. But again, Jake wants to fan the hand and make birth of these things. Well, when Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai really opens up those floodgates of destruction, as it says in 2nd Ezra chapter 9, then shall they know it after death by pain. But you got precept by pain.
This Genesis 27 and 41, you basically touching back on how Esau is going to resort back to his natural, of him having that natural hatred towards Jacob. But in Genesis 27 and 41, it says Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, and this is the same way that they're looking at Jason today's time. The only thing is that the Lord, he's ramping up that spirit within him.
And his heart is deep too. So when he said in his heart, he think of many ways to punish and fuck over Jacob. He go forward with it.
Yeah, all the heavy.
With that, his heart is deep.
In the new, in the new way that he met Jacob, he found a way to start just putting on a robe, the white robe, man. He started putting himself in a position as the police, judge, lawyer, even doctors, man. They fucking up in these hospitals. The person from LA put a video of the Edomite woman was showing how she in her time pregnant coming up from the 90s to the 2000s. They had a doctor in particular. He was one of the ones that was helping women give birth. He was doing fucking he was cutting women from their rooter to their tooth.
For sport.
Yeah, for sport. He ain't had to do this yet.
The woman, there was the Eve woman on the table, and she was perfectly fine, and she already gave birth. And he asked, because they were all, student doctors learning. He's like, does anybody know how to perform a certain type of C-section? They're like, no, let's do it right now. Hit the lady. She didn't need it.
Yeah, well, they had one dude that was over this. She wasn't having to get surgery, somewhere like in the box area. So they put her to sleep, and when she woke up, she was like a 15, so like really understanding. About a couple months down the line, her sister started like speaking up, like a box area. So she went back, and they put another chip in. They put a chip, and she felt like they turned to a freak. She kept fucking with her. Yeah, and it was bugging her out, so she went to go see what it was, and they opened it up, and fucking she might put a chip in it. So that's why, brothers are probably saying, like, don't go to these motherfucking hospitals. Like, we understand, brother, some shit you can't avoid, they force you to. But, brother, don't be willing to just go into these people, bro. Like, this Satan, bro. You got a tummy ache, a headache, or some shit. Come on, bro. We got spiritual remedies, man. And herbs and shit, man. Hey, when you sick, hey, you got to call upon your heart.
Yes.
It's the word thing that he,
They the first line of defense is Esau, and rather than y'all like
Go see what's wrong. The people you go and see is what's wrong.
it's not those things where Esau is a prediction of no value in the fortune of life. They can't believe none of this devil say.
The word doctor means to make right or something like that. To reconcile version.
False. Like a false doctor.
Yeah,
Yeah, the false doctor.
yeah, that's where right into the field.
The brother had the article in there with one of these doctors. He just went to the federal penitentiary because he made over $130 million of diagnosing people that weren't sick with like major diseases, cancer and AIDS, all kind of shit, man. For the bread. Yeah, he did,
Yeah, doctor means to make the appearance.
make them hear right. Falsify. Falsify. That devil got over $130 million is what they had from him giving people false diagnosis on their sicknesses, man. Running their tab up with major sicknesses too, man.
Hey, during 2019 to 2021,
Yeah.
in those fun houses, people, they would get money for how many people fell asleep in the fun house. So they were giving people candy to fall asleep. They were giving people laughing gas to make them fall asleep in the fun house.
Them machines too. Doing that seat trial, brother. Like you get on now, they was taking what, about $17K or something like that.
That's for to get signed up, and then once they put you on the once they able to put you on the machine, it's 37.
Yeah, I understood. So they're just anybody can, all in the name of it. Hey, you just need to get on.
And now the authorities are coming out and admitting that the tequila shots got people too drunk to where they blacked out permanently. And now, who's the main person they push those tequila shots on? So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans.
You might go into the Rockford article in there where it says he got doctors are looking for a spike.
Yeah, I read it yesterday.
Spike in the I can't say this. A spike with the hearts and people dropping dead, man. So that's what's coming up next. Because the devil who made the potion already said you're looking for 5 years. Within 5 years, you're gonna have a rapid amount of people.
That's 5 years ago.
And you have records, they're dying. No, it's fatally falling off. Yeah. Healthy people too.
Things wrong going on, all kinds of things going on.
And it says wicked sounded alarm on massive spike in American suddenly dropping unalive for unexpected heart attack. So as it comes, I got one of my parties. Oh, that's what's coming, man.
And you got about
This Romans 13, verse 4. I'm gonna start at 3. For rulers are not a terror to good works, but to evil. Will thou then not be afraid of the power? Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same. For he is the minister of our powers to be for good. But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid, for he beareth not the sword in vain. For he is the minister of our power, a revenger to execute wrath upon them that do it evil.
so the Lord has set up all the powers that were supposed to rule. He set up Esau, and what did it say? If you get out of line and do evil, then that sword is not far from taking you out. Pay your taxes, don't run red lights, be an upstanding citizen. But if you want to be a nigga out here and Esau comes and puts you down, that's been sanctioned by Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai.
Yeah, and part of his sword is his injustice system, his GMO, right? His the way he pollute the air, the land. All right, all this is a sword because it's killing implement. They just like, oh, he's just choking you out. He choke you out, and then he get a paid vacation, then come back, man. So this devil is on it, man.
It's propaganda too.
It's propaganda too.
Hip hop, all that, everything. As the brother was saying, a literal gun
too. Yeah.
A literal gun and him choking you out isn't just his sword. His sword goes into his science, his health,
Prescription and
propaganda.
yep. Which the book of Psalms goes into that too. That's how you cast out those nets, man. You catch the fork, man. You catching the different gimmicks and shit, man. I got one shit.
Kind of cute.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 9, verse 12. The light not in the thing that is not the light not in the thing that the ungodly have pleasure in. But remember that they shall not go unpunished to their grave. This is the point. 13. Keep thee far from the man that has power to kill. So shall thou not doubt, all right, the fear of death, that thou come unto him, make no fault. These he take away thy life. All right, secondly, remember that thou goest into the midst of snares, and that thou walkest upon the battlements of the city.
Okay, that backs up what the brother brought out in that Romans 13. Keep thee far from the man that has power to kill. And how do you do that? Not getting in the way of Esau's, legal systems and, just doing what you can to keep yourself under the radar. Jake wants to pop off and show this image like he's a tough guy, but that brings you right in line to these centurions out here and before these judges who are giving out race card number sentences.
It won't take the fuck up. That's what the system is built off of. Yes. So they'll be justified in executing you, man, or throwing you away in prison. Because the prison industrial system is part of the swords too, man. They feed you, they feed you with all type of indoctrinations, give you Muslims, give you idolatry. All right, that's part of what killing Jake. Because if you serve other gods, you are dead until the Lord. There's no life in you, man.
And your property sales. They can do whatever they want to.
Yes, brother.
And that's why the scripture tells you that in Revelation 13. All right, rich and poor, free no bond. You the people that's in jail, they ain't gonna have to say so to say, I don't want to take them over the beach. You want to get down with the program. Or put your ass in a hole. You know how that hole is, man. The hole is dark. You got that one little bitty light shining. It's rats in there, it's cold, and it's wet, man. Right? You got a crazy nigga on side you, groaning and moaning, man. You know?
He's a disciple of Fleece Johnson.
Yeah, you got Fleece Johnson. You got a bunch of those, but you got a bunch of them in there. He's just getting glorified. But man, you can have the probably 40-50% of the prison is like this guy, man. If not worse.
More aggressive.
Jake ain't even thinking about that shit. This is where this nigga come from. So they gotta have people more sick-minded in the mind than him, man.
Yeah, that's why them niggas ain't know.
Exactly.
The prison is a freak factor.
Yeah, man, you don't know what that dog day cat. Nobody wants to go there.
That's brother.
What's some brain cells in your head, man? You hear the story. Like they got a whole YouTube channel dedicated to this prison story. The other guy, Wes Watson, and the other dark skinned Jake. Talking about one nigga that's baldwin, real dark skin. You know, he got a shaved face and shit. I think talking about a nigga named Chocolate Thunder. Man, we want to deal with that, man. This nigga known to get hostile. I want to deal with that shit. And that's why I think for the Lord had me in the truth, my right mind, they got to sit up here, deal with none of that shit, man. Nigga, you want your cornbread. Nobody want to deal with that nigga, man.
No, they're leaving a Snickers on your pillow. That way they don't leave it.
Yeah, 100 pounds of shit.
You didn't just read Travel with a Bull Fellow, bro. You know everybody accident. I want to hear you.
I know you.
What the scripture go back to what the brother said. You got to stay out of the way of a man that has power to kill. He still has the power right now. Whether you accept it or not, this so-called white man has been given the power from on the left-hand side of the Most High to be in power, to rule in darkness, man. And then you get out there, out of your car at a simple traffic stop. You want to act irate and crazy with this
I know
nigga.
my rights.
talking that sovereign citizen shit, man. Meanwhile, you dealing with Judge Dredd himself. You wonder why this nigga is cracking his knuckles as he's talking. This nigga, the glove,
gonna rip Jake's face.
dealing with this nigga, man. You wasn't okay.
Talking right. Won't get talked in the camera right
Hey, because you gotta think these niggas, most they got something came out where they said the police forces purposely trying to get niggas that ain't too right in the head. Then you gotta understand on a day-to-day walk of these police officers, these niggas are seeing people dead, children, all type of messed up. They ain't messed up in the head. Oh, then here come you, wanting to fuck up. You a free kill.
Let the fucking pull me over for you, hear me?
You about to find out right now. All right?
back at what you said. I remember this was like 10 years ago. I read this. They intentionally look for people with low IQs to join the police force.
Yes.
And the reason is because, you know, somebody with a lower IQ can do the paperwork. But that's not the reason. They want a drone in there. They want a gorilla that's going to be cracking skulls.
Yeah, that's why you see them Edomites. I was cool with a guy when I lived in Houston that was on the floor. He's like, man, them motherfuckers coming down straight off the street and watch too much cop and be tripping, man. Roughing you up. Get the fuck out of there. You complying, and niggas still punching you in your head.
Stop resisting.
But you Jake's are the main punching bags for that shit, because you always bucking up. Shut up.
That count.
Who's it?
Wrestling man.
That fucking wait for that shit.
I know you will hold some.
Go.
Send it one you got.
Oh yeah, I had that. That's the spirit. I don't hold it again. I got two. You got that.
You got it.
Go ahead.
Come, it says, "Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that grievousness, that right grievousness which they have prescribed." Because hey, that prescription they give out where there's P, or the doctor give to you to go to them, but still, all in all, those decrees, when you read this in the NIV, the brother just took the phone, it says that make unjust laws and oppressive and give out oppressive, I was just looking at it in another, can you get in there? Yeah. I'm gonna read it again. It says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees. Put in things for you gotta take care of. They got the child support thing now. If you been with the girl, you gotta take care of the child that ain't even yours, man. No, like you obligated to that. Even if it's not yours, you still gotta handle that, man. Come on, bro. That's an unrighteous decree, man. And right grievousness, which they have not prescribed. Get it in there.
NLT? Which one?
No, not the NLT. Let me look at I want the NIV. Now, whatever they prescribe through that injustice system, their oppressive laws, right? They make all kind of laws under your nose, doing Jake celebrating Christmas for the 1st of January, pop, bringing up when the baby drop. They implementing all kind of Trump was just signing shit for wax, man. You just saw him with the ink pen as soon as he got in office, man. You might even look at he just signed, man. You see that nigga right? Yeah, you're right.
That's nice. He immediately went from the inauguration. He walked out of the inauguration into the office and sat down.
Signed it. All right, come watch. Yeah, no, let me see it in NIV. Yeah, read that one.
Isaiah 10:1 in the NIV, it says, woe to those who make unjust laws, to those who issue oppressive decrees.
Yeah, oppressive decrees. Because everything they put on Jake, it just is a burden, a more heavier burden. All right, they're laying heavy burdens on Jake. They're making everything tough. These tariffs, right? That's an oppressive law, man. They're on taxes, right? They going up in federal hike taxes and shit like that, man. All right, that's an oppressive law to us, man. We already poor.
You talk about that in 2 1:14 that the Lord was a little displeased.
But
yet it's double for the affliction.
Yeah.
Part of the affliction. You read that?
Oh, that was it on the Isaiah 10.
Oh yeah, that's it, brother. Yeah, that's it, you got it.
Back on this Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2, because this is ultimately going into what the mindset of this devil Esau Edom. This is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2 and verse 10. It says, let us oppress the poor, righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the age. Let our strength be the law of justice. So that's where they power reside at. Okay?
That the justice system and the military. That's all Esau's power, right? And like I said, he run that machine perfect, right? Starting with the judicial system, executive, what is it? Executive branch. That's where his power lies, man. That's it. Right? That's why he set out the farm, all right, that goes into the Revelation, man. What's my train of thought, though? The DC being over the military, you got the
3 unclean spirits.
The 3 unclean spirits, man. Right? Because this devil is set out with actually, he wants that one world government, man. Right? One military, one religion, one money system, man. Right? You gotta know, you gotta see that. You gotta see how things are going in this time. This devil been had this shit set up, all right, since the days of Adam Weishaupt. They have one plan and one plan in general. It's for them to be on top, everybody else to be low. Starting with you Jakes, man. And a lot of them that's up in those high seats and them corner buildings with them are token niggas. Most of them are really, some of them are Edomites, man. But then now the Edomite in spirit. And they doing the work of this devil. What the fuck you think Condoleezza Rice is, man? Kamala Harris. She not even a Judite woman. For you other dumb black ass women out here thinking she a so-called sister. That motherfucker hate your ass, man. That what you know, did you catch that in keynote speech when she was talking? That motherfucker Kamala Harris was talking about depopulation, man. Why everybody missed that? Go ahead.
Because he ain't the orange. Because she ain't the orange man. This Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, and verse 11. It says, "Let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth."
Kind, as you know, let our strength be the law of justice. Woe to him that frameth mischief by his devices and write those unrighteous decrees. This whole legal system that Esau has set up to where it's so complicated, you know, there's so many pitfalls for Jake to fall into. And lest we forget, you being called a so-called black person means you aren't even under the jurisdiction of the law. Which I've got the Black's Law Dictionary right here.
Which goes into the law of color, right? Because when you look at the law of color, all nations have what synonymous with their nation. They have a colored flag. White, the white color means surrender, but all the other nations have color flags. You don't have a color. They don't even acknowledge you as a people, man. You're just something that's just existing here in America, all right? And you can find that too with my man. I think it was Jordan Maxwell went into the law of color, all right?
Go ahead. This is a shout out to Elder Malcolm for putting this on one of his recent videos. This is from the Civiliter Mortis, Black Laws Dictionary, 2nd editions. Deontay.
Yeah, and what's that? Let me cut you off. Mostly I fuck with the 5th and 4th edition. That means the 2nd edition goes even further back than that. Gotta be somewhere within the 1800s, man.
Raw and uncut.
Yeah. Go ahead, bro.
So again, the Civiliter Mortis, Black's Law Dictionary, 2nd edition. Deontay Cassius Clay is not black, African American, or Negro. See FF 181. This is what it says. First, there exists no nation of Black Americans, nor is there a Black America in any documented record the world over. Black Americans are what is referred to in law as a misnomer, or collectively misnomers. As you well know grammatically, Black is an adjective and is not a proper noun. Socially and politically, Black implies civiliter mortis, which means dead in the eyes of law. Black American is not a nationality, nor is it a nation.
That's why we don't have. Jake don't got no military. You know when these nations go to they're not inquiring about Jake.
They ain't got their own language.
Jake don't got a language. Yeah, we borrowing the language. We borrowing the language. Anything we got, it ain't ours, man.
That
Don't belong to us.
that beautifully shows that the churches are going in the foreign Negroes like those are native.
So we the people too, though. Right by default, it gives a balance to actually show who the Lord's chosen people is, man. It's an indicator, man.
Somebody could give me Lamentations 4 and 22. We have looked for vain help, but as it says,
And guess what? That Black Law Dictionary was invented for blacks against blacks, right? Those were laws that are for against Jake. All right?
food for you, against you. But as it says, socially and politically, Black implies civiliter mortis, which means dead in the eyes of law. Black Americans.
That's why the law set up to oppress who?
God,
The laws of the land is set up to oppress niggas, man.
to oppress the poor,
The poor.
the widow.
You was going into it too. Remember in Isaiah the 10th chapter, when you jump to verse 5, it said what? Oh, Assyrians are wrought up my anger. I seen him with foreign who? Like hypocritical nations.
That's right.
You know? So what they gonna do? They gonna lay the law down on you. They gonna lay their law down on you.
I was,
You know?
But as it says, Black American is not a nationality, nor is it a nation.
No identity.
Therefore, Black has no political interests.
That's a proverb in the Bible, which is part of the curses in Deuteronomy 28.
God.
That's us. Like that's us, along with our brothers, man. The rest of the tribes.
Therefore, Black has no political interests nor powers in the free national constitution that was prepared for all free national beings. So it's straight up saying you so-called Negroes are not free out here. You're not even considered a person. You got that Lamentations?
We never was freed off those plantations. We just was move over to what? The
Emancipation.
Declaration of Emancipation, bro. It just mean to move over.
Transfer ownership.
Ownership. We just went to a governmental system, all right, that you see today, man.
That's why Yahweh Shah got to come.
Yes.
You know,
We
we gonna
want-
set up that righteous government on the right hand side.
One slavery to another. You
We
got
got niggas dog hard about Juneteenth and shit.
selling you freedoms.
They,
gotta-
they say they block. They block.
Look at lamentation.
This is Lamentations 4 and verse 17. It say, as for us, our eyes as yet failed, are vain. Our eyes as yet failed for our vain help. It say, in our watching have watched for a nation that could not save us.
Hey, as for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain, and vain means worthless, help. In our watching to the government, watching to the legal system for help, we have watched for a nation that could not save us. As we just read, Black American in the Black Laws Dictionary, you're not even constituted as a free persons or subject to the laws and the rights of the laws. You're just free game out here. Again, Micah 2:10, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. We were never supposed to, be a part of that American dream or eat that apple pie.
They tell you in what that's Jeremiah 2:33, why trimmest thy ways to seek love? Because every time we try looking for help with our enemies, even though it was a curse unto us, we have to eat, bread and water from them, but that's about it. They rely everything else on the Lord, man, to protect us. This Psalms 94:20.
Just on that one day.
That's the spirit. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by law?
Mischief, deceits, wrongdoing by law. Con. Esau has framed all his wickedness by law. Let our strength be the power of justice. I'm going to screw over these Israelites, but I'm going to have a legal system. I'm going to make it look professional. So it looks like they broke the law. I didn't do anything wrong.
And even when it ain't right, they just admit it and bring stuff in. Man, we can't wait here. We gotta get out of here, man.
Going back to what the brother was saying too, you Jake here, you could never be a citizen of America because you came here under wartime advocacy, man. You came here and worked under slavery, man. So you can't never be a so-called citizen. You just existing here. You just the prisoner of the war. And then, like I said, that goes into the law of color too, right? Because like when you put on a police uniform and you just a regular guy running around like you're a cop, you put yourself under what they call the law of color. All right, knowing you're a criminal, man. Same thing if you was to you be anytime somebody in a war state, it's basically what they call it. They show their flag, man. What nation they represent? Same thing when you sit up there and when a person do you wrong, you say, "Oh, I see their true colors." All this stuff it runs and ties to go together, man.
Yeah, it's by design. Even looking into George Maxwell, he say when you go into on the court system, that's why the judges got black robes. They got black robes on because he said when you look at a court system, he was like, what do you do on the court? You play on the court.
Yeah.
So when you go down to these courthouses, they playing with you.
Yeah.
You are governed by the law of the so-called law of the land, and they are governed by the law of the water. So it's two different playing fields.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, they both. That's why they hit on back.
Went into that. George Maxwell, when he basically tell them like how the judges they wear black, they robes are black.
Yeah,
They sit on the bench. Like the court system because they playing with you the whole time.
Yeah.
The referee controls the game.
You already lost unless the Lord with you.
He said it in whatever ways he want, like water. Hey, go here, hey, whatever ways he want, man.
You can't really represent yourself like something about it, man. Right? You better know that law down to the T. They gonna speak in Latin, right?
That's why they advise you, right, to get what?
Go ahead,
To get representation. And if you don't, we'll what? Give you a court. So it's still in their favor. It's like, well, he works for us.
So we'll give you, and Jay can't really afford,
Yeah.
you know, lawyers, because the lawyers work for them too.
Yeah.
Then a lot of you niggas get in trouble at next time that don't understand what's going on. When you go your black ass to court to get judged, guess what? That judge sitting on the bench, but he's also sitting behind a flag that got fringes. Those are wartime fringes, man. That's what them fringes on that American flag represent. Time of war. And guess what? They're gonna. That's why they giving you niggas fucking NASCAR numbers, man, for the least offenses.
They get that nigga life plus 125 years.
Hey, look at Larry Hoover. Larry Hoover got 6 life sentences on top of 200 years.
That show you the mindset of this devil. They think that the house shall continue forever. Who the fuck about to do that time? Nigga would reincarnate, come back in, spawn back in the person.
And still be in jail. Life. You know that nigga on life say that shit? Life. You can't do that shit.
It was innocent and all out there. They ain't even want to hear it.
Yeah.
They ain't even want to hear you in court. And that's why when Jake been in court, you look at niggas, Jake talking, you heard me, man, get him out of here, man.
You
just guilty, man. Yeah, put him in the bank, man.
That's like with that rapper named TK. At first he had, I believe what it was, 45 years, if I'm not mistaken. He had 45 years. He tried to take the case to trial. So after that, they ended up giving him like 80 years. So the judge was basically telling him like, you would eat here, you would sleep here, and most importantly, you would die here. You know, killing all J. Hope.
They just added more time to it.
Yeah, kind of.
Got like something.
They already know what they were about to do. You know, just like the others talk about life. When you watch the movie, you might say, well, shit, if you ain't do nothing, you don't got nothing to worry about. But he already know they're about to ship them niggas off. Yeah. I got one for you, huh? For you, right?
I'll get just what the elder brother was saying about what the golden fringes represent, because the American flag you see is a battle flag. They've got a separate flag, which is a civilian American flag, but the average everyday American flag you see represents a battle flag, so it means every U.S. citizen is in an active battle zone. So that means if you get put down by the authorities, you're just a casualty of war.
Yeah,
You're a combatant.
That's who gonna stand up for you? You know, you've been given it to the hand of your enemies and all of those that hate you. You know,
Especially if you, as we just read, a Black American, which means you just here.
you're just hearing. Yep.
You're just a plaything. As it says in Wisdom of Solomon, hey, they have made our life a pastime, a place of game. But this is some information on a gold fringe flag. The gold fringe flag stands for no nation and no constitution. Ye are under admiralty law of the sea, the holy see of Rome. No, not constitutional law or common law of the land or civil law or statute law. The gold fringe flag does not set the rules of the room, but is a warning sign. You are guilty and must prove you are not guilty. So straight to the point, Jake's walking in there with the gun already to the back of his head. And with us being under admiralty law, where it says no nation, no constitution, that really goes back to show that Britain still owns America.
Then it said what they basically govern off of what the Constitution of Rome.
So the Holy See of Rome.
Right? So what?
The Holy See of Rome.
Yeah, going back to that water, the Holy See of Rome. So that shows you who's in control. And it's not, America or Rome 2.0 revamp. You know, you look at it from the downtowns, everywhere you go, throughout the all 50, that spirit of ancient Roman Empire has been spread throughout the U.S.
That deadly wound that was healed. And it goes a little deeper. Another list of words that containing ship. Everything in America is on a ship or setting in water. We are under admiralty law. With admiralty law, a sailor gets liberty, not freedom. Liberty equals a privilege, and it is something a particular individual or group are allowed to do, which others do not have permission or can be taken away. Not freedom. Going back to that definition in Black's Law Dictionary, you are not considered a free national citizen. You're considered a nobody here.
And that's why when you look at Revelation 13 chapter, that's why he ultimately gonna usher in the MOTB. And no man buy, sell, trade, at least he have what? That Quran. You know, just real quick. Yeah, this Psalms chapter 83 and verse 2. It says, "For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head." All right. It says they have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, "Come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Yasha Allah be no more in remembrance." You know, and that's what's ultimately taking place. You know, because what? According to Isaiah the 28th chapter, you Negroes, Latinos, and natives have what? Not only been given into the hands of your enemies, but you forsook Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, and you made a covenant with that. You know? You made that covenant with that. No, that's Isaiah 28. We got it.
28, yeah.
Yeah, I just went into Psalms 83.
That's all.
How the crafty counsel
Okay, count.
said, make us no more people.
So
Go ahead. I'm gonna get back.
just to back up that Psalms 83, this says they all basically had their crafty counsel towards, Israel. So this is Lamentations 2 and 15. I start 15 says, all that pass by clap their hands at thee. They hiss and wag their heads at the daughter of Jerusalem, saying, is this the city that men call the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth? So is this the Lord's people? 16 says, all thine enemies have opened their mouth against thee. Because they all have took part in afflicting Jake, huh?
And if I could say, open their mouth against thee, what does it say about the wicked's tongue? It's like a sword. Him speaking that legislation against you, Jakes.
Psalm 64.
I wanted Psalms 37. This is, but you got it.
Psalm 64, 2. It says, hide me from the secret counsels of the wicked, right? From the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who wrap their tongues like a sword, right? And bend their bows to shoot their words, to shoot their arrows, even bitter words.
And
It's your legislation.
you've got, the front side of the law that people know, but then you got that back side of the law, the Black's Law, which a lot of people don't know about, and all these different pitfalls and amendments that they do behind the scenes to where Jake, one Jake might have been able to escape, getting Jake might have escaped getting a long sentence, but then Esau go behind the scenes and change it up to where Jake can't use that same way of the law to manipulate it again. Oh no, we amended this, so you can't use that loophole again. Go to jail.
Why I mean, you got a dumbass, you might say here, thinking that the law, like George Bush told you back in the news now, the law, the Constitution is just a piece of paper. The word amendment itself means to change. And they don't mind changing. Like the person, if they find a loophole for niggas to get A1 credit and just find a way to manipulate the system, they immediately change that shit.
Change.
Oh no, they find a way to to cut out the middleman, or cut out the big man, or out the middleman. You got more. It says that they may shoot in secret at the person. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil manner. They commune of laying snares privy.
Hey, our persecutors were swift. Our persecutors were swifter than eagles. We looked for vain help for a nation that could not save us. Their strength being the law of justice. Esau coming up with all this legislation behind the scenes to get caught up. And at the same time, we know they're coming with that persecution campaign against the men of the Lord. All these different things they're going to do to label us as enemies of the state so they can be justified in coming against us. That's way and a harsh thing.
It says who shall see them? They search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thoughts of every one of them, and the heart is deep.
And from what you were saying earlier, all the way back from Adam Weishaupt, when they set up America and all these institutions, they already knew, what they were going to do to make sure Jake had no rights here, and we're going to get thrown into jail and constantly be oppressed.
Why? The forefathers told you how how what happened in the ancient Roman Empire, man. Jake took them down. They learned from all that shit. Not put you niggas in office like that. Don't put you in no prominent seats. And you got Jake thinking that Barack Hussein Obama was a Jake. No, it's a Hamite. And they would never do that again, man. You think they would let a real? You think they would let a real Jake come out the Jake in the office? Hell no, that's not happening. Them people might learn. They learn from that whole situation, man.
Bavarian.
Yeah. Oh,
Marcus Aurelius, your Jakes that went through the legal system in Rome to become emperor, and then what? Kicked you Edomites in the ass.
they never let that happen again, man. That's why they let you token niggas get just enough to the top.
Buck hands.
Yeah, and that's it. You hit a ceiling. You know?
Then they got a VCR.
Bruce Tim.
Yeah, they don't give Jake slender of hope. But with hope, a little bit of hope to do for a nation, they can rise the nation up. Hope deferred make the hustle. So our hope is deferred. The vast majority of Jake, they don't got no hope. It's just like, man, we're in the ghetto. They don't even have hope that there's a God. They don't even believe like, man, we're in the hood. God, why would God do this?
But that's why Esau set up token niggas for the niggas on the bottom to believe that there is some hope.
There's some hope, yeah.
Because look how they afforded to let him get up there. And guess what? And they put that hope out there so you don't attack the so-called white man.
Yeah.
And thinking that, and knowing that he's the problem. You'll think that, oh, this token nigga here, he's the problem because they got him doing the work, but it's really just the white man.
Okay.
You know?
They control too.
Oh, all these niggas got
All them
receipts.
niggas, the black bullets and all, them niggas control. You see them niggas on the medium, like the Zaquan always say, they got them niggas, man.
Anybody you see on the TV, which is called a medium, they control. They have receipts for them niggas.
Yes, bro.
Think, hey, you got LeBron James being walked with gutter rats, not by his hand,
By the other hand.
by his hand.
Oh,
Walking with him like this.
a little nigga too.
He's sitting at the table, holding hands with them. Y'all just seen the other one with Terry Crawford holding hands with that soft. Hey man,
Yeah, Terry Crews, that big yoked up Jake.
yeah,
That said an Edomite came and just grabbed his junk.
he ain't do nothing, man.
And he said, I felt violated, big brolic nigga.
Hey, you supposed to blind that nigga, man.
Jared Jones and
Big as you is, man.
That was sick. That was sick.
You got muscles jumping all off the back of your fucking head. All right? And always flexing, but you ain't stepped there. You supposed to knock that Edomite out, man. But you niggas scared to lose it all. You scared that Esau gonna sit up there and what they say? Blackmail or blackball you? Cancel your ass, man. But you got these rough and tough niggas that don't want to say nothing about the alphabet people. The Skittle people, man. Don't say the Skittle people and the little hats, man.
Kyrie, Nick Cannon,
That's
that's controlling the whole way.
the nigga from Miami. That nigga and his woman.
Yeah.
Let that boy Zaza sit up there and get his back pushed in, man.
Will Smith.
Yeah.
Will Smith.
Fuck wrong with y'all niggas, man? Let that nigga get his pole cut off, man. You know? Yeah, fucking Zion, man. Huh?
He got a white boy too.
Yeah.
Who got a white boy? His daughter.
That nigga son. That nigga son, huh? That nigga son, huh? Hey, tripping. Boy. I'm a boy, Dave. What's a boy?
Oh, dang. Hey, right. Like they said.
Yeah, man.
They gonna hit Control Alt Delete on Jake video.
Fuck it. Fuck y'all.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, fuck it, man.
Christmas, bitch. But real quick to back you up about how anybody they set up over Jake as a savior is really just a further oppressor. It's a form of deception. Zechariah 11:5, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. And they that sell them say, Blessed be Yahweh, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not.
And that's what the Lord say. You read it in Psalm 55. They thought they was all together. I was all together as thyself, meaning being with them. because they allowed the law allowing this to happen to us. It looked like the Lord is actually with these people. They prospering, they ruling the earth. So they say they thought they was all together, that the law was all together with them.
And it goes to Psalm 73. It said, I envied the wicked, seeing how they were, but I didn't, I didn't take into account their latter.
They ladder. Got it.
I'm going to say this Psalm 73. This is a song of Asaph, and when you read at the beginning, he's expressing all the things that was plaguing him, you know? Yeah, he just getting angry. But he goes on to say this in Psalm 73. I'm going to get to the 16. It says, when I thought to know this, it was too painful for me until I went into the sanctuary of the Most High. Then I understood I therein, you know? Understanding the judgment that comes with being, you know, a heathen or, you know what I'm saying?
We have to learn that here, though. So that same congregation now that what he was speaking about is what? The tabernacle of men. Right? Once we was called into this, we understood what would be the judgment of the wicked. That's why the Lord tell Ezra, don't worry about the wicked gonna get killed, worry about the righteous gonna get saved. Once you understand, now you need to work on the things that build on righteousness and salvation. We know what the end of a wicked man is. They tell you that. Or this is the end of a wicked man. What? Judgment. There's a recompense gonna come back on his own head, man. So our people still will be joined to this devil, knowing that his end shall be what? Dust and ashes, man. It said, why earth and ashes proud? Right? When you ash, you done, man. You low. This is Isaiah 28 and 15. Because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death.
God, that's a beautiful one.
And with hell are we at agreement. When the overflowing scars shall pass through, it shall not come unto us.
They think when Esau gonna come down in great wrath, you know, he gonna start persecuting, you know, because you know we sold out, we bent over, you know,
Don't help us.
he got a reputation. He's gonna let us into those bunkers and we're gonna be okay. That's not gonna be the case.
Exactly.
Look at the Black Panthers. Look at those Gadites that sold out to Esau in the past. Once he got through using you, he threw you to the wolves.
He did that with Judas Iscariot. During the time of Rome. What he did? No, throw the money down like, no, your money.
Pharisees and Sadducees.
The Pharisees and Sadducees, Salaki. All right? They, at the time, he threw it back to him. He said, you're a traitor. They look at you, if you sell out your own nation, you ain't going to do right by us.
He's going to sell us out.
Yeah, he
ain't
a traitor.
even your people.
He a traitor himself. Did not he kill his brother Cain, Abel for nothing? So, man, nah, man.
Nobody respects a traitor.
Nobody respects a traitor.
Sell out
Yeah.
a bed wench.
Hey, what they did on it was the one with the gorillas on it. Planet of the Apes. They had the gorillas, the ones that sold out. They did some at the end. They put it on their backs. They put some words on their back.
A mule or a donkey or something.
Yeah, they put mule or donkey on their back, man. They showed you Esau got them all the way to the end, and he turned it back on them. The ones that sold out. Turncoats, man.
I think he shot him, man.
Ultimately they died.
They died, yeah. I think he
died.
shot him all up.
Good thing.
But the mockery that he did to show that you know he turned his back on them. It was done through something they had. He put on their back. I forgot. I can't remember it, but nobody respects a traitor, man.
Look at Benedict Arnold. He was an Edomite that betrayed, the revolution, and his name is used to be synonymous with the traitor, and that was hundreds of years ago. Just as Judas called somebody a Judas goat, that just goes to show how low a traitor is seen. Yeah. And hey, that
applies to you guys that go back in the world, man. Nobody respects a quitter, right? Nobody respects a guy that just give up in the middle of the race, man. Nobody respects a fucking turncoat.
Half step.
When you look at throughout history, most of these people, most of the prominent people that were set up, they came about. It's like that guy that was in Texas that set up that had to fight at the Alamo St. Anne. You know St. Anne? That guy was fucking turned in because the Edomites couldn't find him. He was just fucking him up and dipping out. Who told on him? Other chicks for some donkeys, horses, and uniforms, man. And a new haircut.
On that movie, it was like your brother said, it was just always Jake. It's always your own people that align with their, having an alliance with the enemy.
We were talking about it at camp. Yeah, them niggas that's missing out the prison system, the nigga own sister, man. His own sister told on him for $20,000, man.
Like even in like slavery time, when you look back,
Did them, bro?
the first like police on cop system, there was Jakes going chase other Jakes going. He's on slow at point going get, but it was niggas that was sellout, you know. You know.
Yeah, the police was set up as slave patrol, man.
Go back to Rome. And hey, back in that Isaiah 28, also those that have made a covenant with death are you leaders in these false prophets in these camps out here who are what? Breaking down the doctrines wrong and, slandering, the brothers over at GMS, thinking that when Esau comes down, you're just going to escape out the back door. No, this applies to you as well, even more so, because you're twisting the truth, the actual truth.
Now it says, for we have made lies our refuge. Yeah, believe in lies, man. That day, what the Lord said, I'm going to choose their delusions, for I made them, I'm paraphrasing. Yeah, that they should believe a lie. But this is all done spiritually through the Lord, that the Lord could judge you in the end, man. So whoever just be a turncoat, Judas was already recognizing what he would do because Yahushua called him out. He that dip his hand in the tray, in the dish with me shall be treated. So the Lord already know who going, these Sakari, old right there.
And up this time too.
In this time too. Yeah, it's nothing new under the sun. They coming back.
Judas said, "Is it I, Lord?" And Yahushua said, "Thou hast said."
Thou hast said. He told him it was him before he did it. And he still did.
Go do what you gotta do.
Do what you gotta do.
And then like John 6:64, when Yahushua was speaking, he say, he knew those from the beginning that would not believe.
That would not believe.
No, it was already set up.
Yeah, the Lord had telekinesis. What that is? That what you call it? Telepathy.
Yeah,
He can read their minds, man. He knew before it even happened. That's why when he dealt with a lot of the wicked Pharisees and Sadducees, he said it says in the scripture, "I perceive their wickedness."
That's it. I was just about to say. Yeah. Yahushua pulled up like, "I perceived thee." Yeah, like what? He already knew what you was thinking.
How you know it's coming too, man?
So that show you too how we gonna fuck Esau up in the kingdom. Cause we gonna have that power.
We don't have that power.
Shit, on the low, we got it now. We see you niggas coming. We be on the block, man. We see you niggas coming a mile away. Hey, watch this nigga, man.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
What I did? Get out of here. We perceive your fucking wickedness, man.
Yeah, we already tell you niggas coming with some bullshit. I love you guys. No, man, I'm looking for the sniper. What the fuck nigga got? The nigga got a knife.
It's the guy in the blue garment. I'm gonna stand next to him. I love you guys.
Hey, man.
When I kiss on the cheek, that's him.
I want a hug. Man,
Yeah.
get the fuck on, man.
You should all just love each other. God was all love. Look, get out of here, man. You trying to do something to us, man.
Get out of here,
It says, and under falsehood have we hid ourselves. Let me jump to 18.
Yeah.
And your covenant with death shall be disannulled, and your agreement with hell shall not stand. When the overflowing scars shall pass through, then ye shall be tried down by it.
Hey, when this devil comes down in great wrath, and this sword of the Slayer, somebody has. You need a battery pack?
Yeah, come.
I got one.
Yeah, like the brother said, what you saying, the sword of the Slayer? Hey, he buried not in vain, right? So he.
And when Esau comes down in great wrath, and that Slayer has that sword to furbish it, you sold out. That doesn't mean you're gonna get a pass. You're gonna go through the famines, the pestilences, and the persecutions, and that ultimate scourge. Those nuclear missiles are gonna wipe you away.
And even in these church houses, right? These holy houses, it says they that believe unto the prophet shall their judgment be also. So you don't get a pass with nothing. The Lord ain't tell you to bend up believing lies and stomping around and whatever he was teaching y'all. Everybody, listen, at the end of the day, the Lord say, get Ecclesiastes 12 and 14.
That's the whole reason why you got the prophets.
Yeah.
The prophets are giving a warning and telling you what to basically run away from it. To what? This Yahushua talked about the heavenly prophet said, save yourself from
Untoward generation. Yeah.
So that's why you got the prophets. But what? According to 2 Corinthians 36, or 2 Chronicles 36, they made a mockery of the prophets. And they say they misused the prophets. Well, how do you misuse the prophets? You don't take heed to the warning that the prophets are giving.
So your reward is your reward. The Lord gonna read that
Read that.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 14.
Yep.
It says, "For the Most High shall bring every work into judgment
Go ahead.
with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil."
So evil what? So he bringing every work into judgment, whether it be evil or whether it be good. So every man gonna get that recompense regardless of whatever it was, man. Nobody's gonna can escape the hand of the Lord, man.
God, just to back that up real quick. This is a second Ezra 14. I'm gonna read 35. For after death shall the judgment come, when you shall live again, showing that there's reincarnation. And what did Yahushua tell those wicked jakes back then? By you saying you would not slay the prophets, you're identifying that you were those same men that slayed the prophets because you're coming against me. And it's the same thing now. Jakes that are coming against the prophets now, you know, you would say, oh, I'd never talk against Jeremiah or Isaiah, but you were them same niggas back then doing the same thing against Yahushua's men today.
And Jeremiah was trying to save him, and they threw him in the pit, man. He came out and said, Lord, kill these niggas, man. He came to give them the word to save them, and they overthrew him, man. They was trying to throw him in the pit, man.
That's why the old saying the best thing you can do for a nigga
It's
is
nothing. Absolutely nothing.
I'm not trying to do nothing for these niggas. I'm playing dumb. Straight up. Can't help these niggas, man.
That's why the Lord told Jeremiah, lift not up the cry for this people. That's the same spirit the prophets in the day. You know, and
Okay.
love everybody's spirit.
Yeah, so, they gonna tell everybody, hey man, you gotta quickly get out of that spirit. Jeremiah, if you want to tell everybody the truth, right? You running out homeless men, the dead of night. All right. Tell him he's an Israelite. All right, and give him a canned good and an apple. He's fucking crazy, man.
You can't forget about that family.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Let them people alone, man.
Soup kitchen. But as I said, for after death,
Hey, fuck, man, I remember I had a dude that was in back in the day that was in Houston. He up there, yeah, I told his guy, dude on his own porch, eating red beans and a pork chop. You gonna go in the man's fence, tell him he shouldn't, that man should have shot your ass, man.
Chris out you, man.
You tripping. You know, he no longer, that guy's no longer with us, man. You know, he's not, he in the world, but Jake is trying to tell everybody, hey man, let them people alone, man. Let judgment come down on them. So I'm deaf, like I said, you done got so aged in the truth that you're not trying to tell your first cousin, you know, this one or down your friend. You ain't trying to tell them shit no more, man. But just, hey, if they don't wake up to this truth on their own, some form of fashion, hey, that's it for them. Cool.
They're going to show too, Jake don't understand the prophecies of the scripture. According to 2 9 22, the Lord created many that were born in faith. You got to really understand that when you come to the truth. And no, everybody ain't going to get it.
No, everybody not gonna get it, man. That's the truth. Everybody not gonna get this thing. This thing is only, we've been saying this for what, the last past 2-3 weeks. This is for exclusive club, man. You can look at the word mystery, go into mysterion. It goes into
those are initiated.
there was initiated.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you gotta, man, the Lord has to select you and elect you as one of his own, man. We've been saying this for weeks. You can't buy this. You can't go on eBay and buy this. You can't go into CVS, Walgreens, Walmart. You cannot purchase this, man. This has to be given from on high. The Lord has to sup with you. Right? Now I went into that word sup. You seen that? That said to have
Blissful intercourse.
yeah, what is that? No, it's not for share intimate.
Intimate, blissful intercourse.
Yeah. Meaning the Lord dealing with you in depth
Yes.
on his mysteries, on his secrets, man. That he revealed to us. Why the Lord didn't wake up Lil Wayne, man? He looking like Whoopi Goldberg.
And the Levite.
Yeah, yeah, man.
He threw.
Why the Lord hasn't woken up your favorite celebrity where he's doing the work week in and week out? He didn't put down the record deals and shit because the Lord ain't dealing with them niggas like that, man. Some of them know that they ain't doing the work. Look at Kodak Black. Kodak Black just said he's Israelite, but he on a video popping pills and doing this. This mouth is moving. That nigga eyes this big on the video, man.
Say Grumpy, he knew the perm was fake and still he.
Yeah, but then in the same breath, he saying Israelite.
Oh,
Yeah, Yahushua said it's easier for a camel to enter through the eye of a needle than a rich man into the kingdom of heaven. These Jakes have gotten their consolation. They've sucked at the riches of Babylon, literally, and it's hard for them to give it up.
You know another thing too? Jake can't come out here losing. That's like somebody that man, this brother know. I already know that Jake can't he can't take it, bro.
Reputation.
The reputation, he think his reputation exceeds the most high. My friends, my women gonna laugh at me, my children gonna look at me a different way. You worrying about the world. And that's what the celebrities, they worrying about how they would look to the world today, quote unquote fans. But as you can see, the Lord gave us plenty of examples with R. Kelly, with Diddy. These niggas love you today and hate you tomorrow. Like this. Whether the allegations are true or fake, that's how America goes. America runs in a pack mentality. Nobody has the mind and thoughts of their own. He can feel one way, and by the time they get over there to him, everybody feels that way.
By speaking.
Yeah, I'm saying what Lord Young said. Nobody has their own opinion, own thoughts, and nobody's thinking logically and rational at all. Everything is fueled by emotion. Wait, like you got
absolutely. We'll push this after when you go into the scripture, it tells you follow not a multitude to do.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
this place follow they follow the multitude, man. It's easier that way. It's easier here in America. You don't have to think.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to think here, man. You could just be whatever you want to be. Like I said before, you can marry a head of cabbage. All right. What else? That nigga said he married. One motherfucker said he married himself. He divorced
He
himself.
said he was miserable and divorced himself. No, real life.
Brother, what you doing?
He married himself, then they say 2 or 3 weeks later he divorced himself.
But hey,
Let him do that shit, bro.
hey, your reputation, so-called reputation, because what fucking we're slaves in captivity. What reputation do you have? Coming into this truth, the reputation is the first thing to go. With the first precept we opened up with, made a spectacle, a sport, a public show in front of the world and men and angels. It comes along with the truth that what? Since the world hated Yahweh, they're gonna hate us just as much.
Said we are fools with your house shots. I'm cool.
rich. We still got the word of the Heavenly Father. It don't matter how it's packaged unto you. But most people, they're in a world where everything is what? Softened down. Feminism is at an all-time high. And can't nobody receive no goddamn thing, man.
Hey, fuck views.
Yeah, we good with that too. Because again, a man that's in
I went in there all the way.
that has a
The plug
reputation
went in there, it was just sitting there.
just a little
Yeah,
bit can
that's my fault.
look crazy, man. So we stay within the boundaries and the borders of what? Doing what the Lord said to do, man. To the best of our abilities. And we good, man.
And Luke Yahushua said, those things that are highly esteemed amongst men are despised by the Most High.
Yep.
So everything these people look to for self-esteem, reputation, and clout, it's all vain and nothing.
Yeah.
This society is literally collapsing all around our feet. But the majority of these people out here are still concerned about a goddamn TikTok channel.
Consolation. The Lord said he dealt with a man that's of a broken spirit and a contrite heart. We have went into repent mode, and we like, damn, we went off against the Lord, man. So it's our duty to do, not just come through the work, but also work ourselves in our repentance, man, that we could get mercy in the hand, man. You know?
The Philippians to that word. In the Lord, absolutely, we're subject to doing what? Working out our callings and relationships by way of fear and trembling. No? And that's what the world can't do. The world can't humble themselves and, say to hell what their own personal feelings is serving y'all by Shemi Ashai. Because at the end of the day, we only here to do the will of the Lord. And that's it. That's it. Like, Ecclesiastes say what? The whole duty of man.
Yeah.
It's to fear the Lord. These niggas don't fear the Lord.
What's that saying? Jake got in the world facts over feelings. But when you actually come with the facts, Jake gets in his feeling. So it's really feelings over facts with these moist niggas out here.
Everything upside down anyway.
Exactly.
You got to approach everything from a different angle, man. They hell with this, man. We just want righteousness to return.
And it's quickly returned. And you err not knowing the scriptures, thinking that, and you err not knowing the scriptures, thinking, that the men of the Lord are going to come yoked out with golden armored garments and a lined up froze. We ain't coming in that IUIC spirit. We're coming in the spirit of that 1 Corinthians.
This 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 25, it says, because foolishness of the Most High is wiser than men, and the weakness of the Most High is stronger than men.
And we know that there's nothing weak or foolish about the Lord. But even the lowest things of the Lord is still better than anything a man walking this earth, past, present, or future, can do. Showing you how insignificant, the vain opinions and the ways of man are.
Verse 26, it says, for ye see your calling, brethren, how that not many wise men after the flesh, not many mighty, not many noble are called.
From these scientists, these athletes, these presidents, these people that Jake looks up to. Oh, he's on TV. He's got letters behind his name, but he's not preaching the words of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. So everything is in vain that he's doing. And he probably has a bottle of baby oil in his back pocket.
It's Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 9, verse 6. It says, for though a man be so never perfect among the children of men, yet if thy wisdom be not with him, he shall be nothing regarded.
Ooh, nothing regarded, straight to the point. If he's wise and look at these people in America. What are they concerned about? Social media, they can't tell a boy from a girl, a man dresses like a woman. You still think voting matters in 2025? You got the C19 juice, and these are the people like you were playing those lawyer commercials with Jake dancing for Morris Bart or whatever. That's the people that scoff against the truth. Some buck dancing, blonde weave wearing, tight pants and ankle having nigga.
Dwayne Johnson, the Rock Johnson shirt. Long feet, silk shirt,
and a Milli Vanilli haircut in 2025. That's the people that are coming against this truth. Hence, why whenever they come up against us, they end up being made to look like fools. Because that's all you are, is a bunch of fools out here. Keep going, that Bible show.
It's 27. It says, but the Most High had chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. And the Most High had chosen thee, weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty.
A bunch of, as you would put it in society, a bunch of broke, angry, poor black men, spics, Latinos, whatever you want to call us, the lowest of society. That is who the Lord has chosen to confound the wise. Here you have scientists and doctors and teachers coming up, getting cut up. You got it to the point to where these pastors with reputations go on panels and say, look, they're not right, but we can't combat anything they're saying.
That's forgiven.
Yeah, your brothers, hey, brothers then debated, they basically debated the chat GPT and confounding the fucking computer, man. All right? Like back in the day, we used to bring it out near Rice University and I'm talking about fuck them people up, man. Even the apostles that went on Yale University, Columbus University, and then debated them. And it come out victorious, man, because these people don't know shit. The people that you look down on, the underdogs of this world, are really the men that the Lord set up. Not no fucking professor, not no scholar. This time, and they don't know. A lot of them dudes make so-called educated guesses. All right, hypothesis and shit, man.
Yeah. A hypothesis. And what's crazy is, what are the movies people like the most out here? Movies where the underdog wins. But when it comes to actual real life, they're against it. Because you're a bunch of phonies and hypocrites. And cowards, too.
You know who the underdog is.
Yeah, that too.
Verse 28, it says, 1 Corinthians 1 and 28, it says, and base the things of the world and things which are despised at the Most High Yahweh chosen. Yea, and the things which are not, to bring to naught things that are.
Things which are not, us as Israelites being the lowest in society, bringing to naught the things that are. By us simply preaching this word, Matthew 24 and 14. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. By us simply. What's up?
This nigga has a rookie error. Who's missed it though? Go ahead.
By us simply preaching the word, it's taken down Esau society. Not all that Black Panther marching, holding the guns or rioting or protesting has done. Anything carnal has not done this, but the words and the spirit of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai has through his vessels, which, all throughout the scriptures, the Lord says to not look upon the appearance of man, but look what's inside that man, that spirit.
Yeah, because like you went into this moment ago. Lord's not just as Yahweh Shai is a plain man. The men of the Lord are gonna be looking like men, just regular men. We're not gonna be jacked up. We're not gonna have they're looking for the perfect
package.
Perfect. Yeah, you gotta be this high, this tall. His hair gotta be like this. You gotta have smooth, clear, iridescent skin.
Cat eyes.
Iridescent skin. That's not the biggest thing though, man. How do we look at that,
It's like on some of these red pill channels, the 3 6s that these women look for. And was it a 666? He gotta be 6 feet, have the 6-pack and 6 figures.
They don't got
nothing. Yeah. Them hoes working that Subway, man.
Them hoes work for 6.
And flinging nothing but ice cream.
6
you know what I mean?
6 an hour.
Yeah, man. But they had the perfect package, man. They drop a Kia Forte and on Section 8.
And like a can of busted biscuit.
Yeah. Looking like a roadkill. When they take all that makeup and all that other shit off, man.
You think you're going to bed with a bad hoe, but you wake up to a crack hoe.
Yeah, a whole bat you wake up to, man. A gorilla.
It's called Glorilla.
Yeah. Megan the Monster.
Eating his feet.
You niggas out there that love these hoes, man, you gonna find out the hard way too. These BBL baddies, man. These bitches walking hydrogel, man. All right, like that nigga Zion Williams. You a nasty nigga. You a freaky nigga, man. You fuck, this whole ass is long and wider than 9 or 10. You fucking with that,
She built like a Tootsie Pop.
Yeah, the men of ancient time wouldn't even fucking none of these women, man. You mess with a broad that personally, publicly put all her assets out there. All her ass, her titties, You know, this everything is out there on the open, man. Who wants to deal with a woman like that? And everybody that had and seen
Stuff.
Yeah,
On public display.
And she have ruined his damn life, man.
that nigga ruined his own life.
But that too. But dealing with that, he you know, that man bought the $1 million. He was set up, what Jake was saying, in this society. Now, because of a rumor or whatever it is, guess what? Suck him dry, man.
Yeah.
He gonna be out the league. Next thing you know, you ain't gonna hear nothing. He gonna be a loser.
Travis Hunter too.
He another nigga. Oh, man. Next thing you know, nigga, alcoholic.
Yeah, under the bridge.
What that nigga, Justin, pull up. Latest picture of Justin Blackman. Man, that nigga through. Justin Blackman, the nigga played wide receiver for the Jaguars back in the day.
And Monte West too.
He just got in trouble again, man. Right, that's how you end up when you fuck with these broads, man.
Yeah,
You end up looking like Jaheim.
yeah.
When they work for
He just went to jail for animal cruelty, man. You saw the picture of him?
Yeah, I be
Well,
like,
that's the interval.
Yeah. Hey, man.
Is it?
Damn,
I took a million on
Fuck, that's how you end up. This nigga
Yo.
plays that baseball.
Yo,
You look like somebody.
Look at this. Go ahead. That's how you end up, man.
chicken bro.
You an NFL first round pick, star wide receiver, and then your end is looking like that, man. Looking like a walking balloon.
Chicken bro.
Oh yeah.
That's another one. Hey, he's putting that woman first.
Yeah, through, man. Through.
And I thought you knew.
That's what happens in the end. You put that woman first.
Hey, it says a woman will turn a man into a piece of bread.
Here you go. Chicken bro. Look for animal cruelty.
Yeah, I seen it.
I'm gonna be second Jaheim charged with animal cruelty in Atlanta. Look at him.
Hey, man.
You know, like a preacher boy.
Yeah, but when you put that woman first, hey, man, you be stressed out, man. You beat a dog ass too.
This is what the interval band look like.
Yeah, look, you
When you
beat a
at
dog
interview
ass looking like that, man. You know,
That man, true, man.
you didn't put the Most High first, right? Even the other dudes, the KC, not the KC, what the other?
Jamie
Jack Daniels, man. Nigga's crazy, man. Them dudes ain't serious, man. That shit is a whole publicity stunt. Jack ain't serious.
Ice cream team.
No, bro, he sat right there and played the tune on. There ain't nobody
Yeah.
got it. Nobody
Ice
bought
cream.
ice cream yet.
Ice cream bounce.
That shit gotta be melted, man.
You might be snatching kids up.
Real,
How they become.
real. Traffic in the
Feel
kid.
like at what's up with that? Oh,
Yeah, working on it.
Come this 1 Samuel 16:7. It says, start at 5. And it came to pass when they were come that he looked on Eli, and said, surely Yahweh's anointed is before him. But Yahweh said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. For Yahweh said not as man said, for man looking on the outward appearance, but Yahweh looking on the heart.
And that's a beautiful account because who was he talking about? King David. King David, what? He was in dealing with the sheep. I believe it was the sheep, and he was dirty when he came in.
Yeah.
He came in lowly, but look what happened. He became, the king of Israel. A man after the Most High's heart. And what are the elect called? The house of David. So we're coming in that same spirit, low and meekly and low and what? Dealing with the sheep. As Yahweh Shai said, fill my sheep. And as, David was taken out of that low position, what? He took down Goliath, which, America is an example of Goliath today, which we're taking. What did he hit Goliath with? That stone. And what are we doing? We're great millstone, coming with that spiritual millstone to take down this Goliath. And then, hey, we're going to be glorified, being joint heirs with Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, sitting on 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel.
Even after that, account with who you just said,
David.
with David doing that to Goliath, what he then began to do, he started to subdue all the other nations too. The more a lot of people just think, oh well, we're gonna just get Esau. No, we putting everybody. We start with you, devil. We're gonna bind y'all kings up with fetters, the rulers of the earth, and then the Lord took many crowns, man. So everybody getting put into subjection. David put everybody in subjection so that Solomon could rule in peace, which was a prelude of our kingdom. Yahweh Shai gonna put all our enemies down, and then we gonna be able to rule in peace forever, man.
Moab is my wash.
Yep.
Over Edom have I cast my shoe.
Yep.
We go over that too one day. But David had what? David had 5 stones that he used. And like I said, power had to be given to those stones through faith, man. It's a lot. You know, you can go into that too.
That's a high.
Down.
You know?
Yeah, he said, you come at me. He said, you come at me with swords and buckler, but I come in the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So really what killed Goliath was the faith David had. And that's what we doing to the corner man. Our faith gonna really overcome the devil, man.
While Saul and his armies were afraid of Goliath in a carnal sense.
Yeah,
but David said, who is this uncircumcised Philistine?
That defile the name of the armies of the Lord.
Yep, I come in the name of my power.
That's why the name of the Lord is a strong tower. David ran into the name of the Lord and was safe ever since, man. That's why he's a man after the most high heart, man. And I don't want rather say we up the tabernacle of David. The Lord is repairing them breaches, man. And now you see the men of the Lord, them mighty men standing strong. What it said, we gonna make it would make when we believe in the Lord, it make our boldness to manifest, man. And the David mighty man was bold. What his name was? Benaiah. All right, you had men that was all you heard with him is when it said his name, he said he smoked him or lay up on his neck. All you saw me do was killing shit, man. You know?
He's gonna call when they say, many are with us than with thee.
Yeah, Elijah. Yeah, there'll be more of us that's with us when he prayed that the Lord open the young man's eyes to see that the angels is more in number than these armies, man. So even though even though Esau got the military and all the devices and the do and everything, like the Lord, like, nah, I'm the spirit of the Lord with y'all. It ain't nothing impossible with him. You got it.
Going back to that Corinthians, the things which are not brought in the things which are.
Yes.
By simply preaching the word, for chanting down Esau, Edom's kingdom. And then, as it said in 2 Thessalonians, who he shall destroy with the spirit of his mouth, and then the brightness of his coming. We're telling you the verdict, Esau, and then Yahweh Shai is going to come with that physical action.
King David in Psalm 44 chapter, just to hit back on us not trusting in carnality, he said, I will not trust in my bow, neither shall my sport, just loosely paraphrase. Also, too, it made me think about the account in First Maccabees, I believe, like 4th chapter when they was going up against Georgians. It says they prevailed in the battle without having the sword or armor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then he goes on to say what he used to motivate them. He said he reminisced about how their fathers were delivered out of Egypt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we're doing the same thing now. Not resorting to carnal matters to prevail against Esau, man.
Yeah, Romans 14 chapter, 15th one, things written the foretime word for our learning, that we might have what patience and hope and comfort. That's what the world failed to realize. See, we have the faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai that we're gonna be delivered. All right, looking back at what King David said in Psalm 34 chapter, he will have the angels to be encamped round about us. The angels here.
That's right.
They
in Ephesians, it's synonymous with David. Because remember when Saul and his brothers was trying to put on all the gear and shit, David fell out. Yeah. David take that off. So that's synonymous with in Ephesians when it said put on the whole armor of the Lord. So we can't really put on a vest and all that to protect against the weapons of evil. We'll get our ass tore up, man. So it's spiritual, or what that armor is really what this word, the faith, and ultimately believing in our salvation through the angels and Yahweh Shai, man. That's the whole armor. David had to take the armor off to defeat Goliath. Like physical armor. Yeah. Like, man, I can't do nothing with that. He fell down, man. In that account, he fell down, brother.
One stone of preparation, say, even firm to the firmest.
Yeah, you got the helmet of salvation. He about to going into the 5 stones and what they represent. I thought, because when he defeated Goliath, it was all through faith, right? Goliath said, "I'll take you, David, and throw you to the fowls of the air." It was a lot going on right there. David called him uncircumcised, which is symbolic for what? The other nations, they can't come into the circumcision of the Lord, right? So he just calling him, you just, nigga, the Philistine,
filthy. Like,
you filthy. You
less than.
you outside of the temple, meaning you profane
And you got nobody to stand up and deliver you.
at all. Because
Who's your God?
it says in First Maccabees 3 that the Lord, you could get it, First Maccabees 3:17, that the Lord don't stand in the multitude of an host, but power come from heaven. So though Israel was out there with an army, the Philistines had their army. Guess who delivered guess who mustered the host of the whole battle? It was Yahushua. You got it? Come on, go ahead.
This is First Maccabees 3:17. It say, "Who, when thou saw the host coming to meet them,
Go up.
15. So you go near it.
No, this First Maccabees 3:19. 19. Yeah. I had started at 17. Go ahead. You go ahead start from 17. It's still good. 19 is the point. Go ahead.
First Maccabees 3:17 is saying, "Who, when thou saw the host coming to meet them,
Go ahead.
and said unto Judas, it's saying, how shall we be able, being so few?"
So few. How should we be able? How the men that's speaking on the word of the Lord, how are we gonna be delivered? They like, how are they counted them? Their ladders counted amongst the saints. Did we have them in derision? Wasn't they weak and feeble? All right, go ahead, brother.
It say, to fight against so great a multitude.
Yeah, because it's not Esau likened unto Leviathan. Like, who can bring him, who can pierce him, right? Which is that's spiritual, because nobody can bind the Leviathan. Go ahead.
It say, to fight against so great. It says, and so strong sin, we are ready to faint.
Go ahead.
It say, with fasting.
Oh, I say if I could say it, Proverbs 24:10, it says, if thou faint in the day of adversity, your strength is small. But it all deals with faith, right? Because we can't overcome Esau. We clearly know that according to the book of Romans 13. We can't fight him, turn him. It's impossible. Go ahead.
It say, we are ready to faint with fasting all this day.
Go ahead.
It say, and to whom Judas answered, it is no hard matter for many to be shut up in the hands of a few.
Yeah, in Job 34:29, or either 29 and 34, it says that the Lord can go up against one man or a whole nation. Right? If it's one king that's strong, the Lord can take the king down, or the whole nation. Gideon, 300. Right?
That's good. I was
it?
looking for it. I think it was chapters now. I think it was 7.
Go
I'm
ahead.
gonna get the last few.
Yeah. This is everybody be finished. Go ahead.
It say, and with the Most High of heaven, it say, it is all one.
Just all one. He could shut up, make strong. He could take down everything. Go ahead.
It say, to deliver with a great multitude or a small companion.
Go ahead.
It say, for the victory of the battle standeth not in the multitude of a host,
Yeah.
but strengthened coming from heaven.
That's why the Lord gonna get the glory, because when He take down this system, everybody gonna look like there's no way they could be defeated. Esau looking like gods out here, man, to people. Like, man, this man got so much devices and all kind of weapons and futuristic military firepower. It's like that's God Himself. People say that God Himself can't take him now. Like the Titanic, man.
Yeah, Revelation 13, the miracles He did in the side of the beast to make people wander after the image and make an image to it. Exactly. Make fire come down from heaven.
Oops. Yeah, He gonna do some miraculous things that people gonna be like, this man is God. All those who don't know who the Heavenly Father is, obviously.
You got Edomites that are sitting down. It's a video. When you look at it, the Edomite sat down with a 12 gauge, turned that video this point.
Oh yeah, we know that. He always talk about and live.
Who did that though? Who constructed that?
Yeah, who constructed it?
So he can have niggas kill themselves off.
Yep.
That's spiritual. He that liveth by the sword shall die by the sword. by Esau's own sword, that's going to lead to his destruction.
Shit, man, blood, blood.
It ain't that same devil from the 1880s and shit. Right, this devil has become weak. Right, look at the curses that was on it. They're on him now. He's on child support. He's on all manner of drugs. All right, this devil has pretty much been brought low. That's why we're able to do this work, because we always say 40, 50 years ago, we wouldn't be able to do this.
With the
Man.
hungers.
The hungry.
There's a coming in this area.
This devil has become weak.
Yeah.
The power that he has with the weaponry is starting to diminish, man. Right? The left hand magic he has is starting to quickly leave him. You can see it. That's why when he tries to do certain mock attacks and shit, everybody seen it. That's AI.
Yeah.
That's why brothers gotta watch this AI shit, because you gotta second guess every story now, man. Me myself, I fell victim to that shit, thinking that shit real. I'm like, come to find out you fact check the shit, it's not even true. And this devil has got it to where it's looking fucking real. The videos, we like, you'll be looking at a woman, damn, like possible busted. You gotta pay attention. Them motherfuckers always can move their mouth and their face, but their bodies don't move.
Yeah.
Right? Or they show men, their fingers all fucked up. They can join. They can move this way, then the back of his head, that way. But you gotta watch this shit, man. You can't believe all this shit. Because it's real quick. They got people out here. They got people out here that's doing the TikToks and shit. They got people out here purposely doing misinformation just for views and likes, just for you to subscribe to their page and shit, man. And the shit don't even be true. But it brings forth drama. It brings forth suspense and people to come check it out, man. Just go ahead, what you got?
I was just going to say, and that's just the AI we see. For all we know, everything we're watching on the mainstream news is just AI generated.
Yeah, that shit fake too, man.
We don't. Yeah.
Everybody playing.
It's our news. And we good. Prophecy is our news. We don't really need Esau to show us anything. We believe, what it said that the prophets from the east, they believe without even seeing bodily eyes, though yet they gonna believe it. So we believe in the spirit of prophecy, which is Yahweh Shai, and we got the news. It's not just the good tidings like you said. We got the good news. We good.
They didn't find out. They didn't find out. In certain cases, those people that you see on TV are not even real people. They're generated. All the people that have been deceased for years.
A green screen is in.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Kind of shit.
This devil, he don't even need crisis actors no more. He can literally punch in. Like I got an app on my phone that I can type what I want. I can type and hit a button with Donald Trump. I can make Donald Trump's voice say anything I want.
That's how they make the songs, not too.
Yeah. But I got a video. It's a video out there that I have on my phone. I can't get it right now. It's a video out there where I remember back then when you had the first Metal Gear Solid, they talked about AI and how it's going to run the society, how it's going to manipulate mass media and news on purpose. It was on there. Well,
that was in Metal Gear Solid 2. You found out that the whole person you were doing a mission for was an AI program.
Yeah.
And it was called the Simulation for a Sane Society.
And then the AI, when the two guys having a conversation, like me and you having a conversation, the AI cuts in and overtalk both of them and say, yeah, this is what I'm doing.
This is what
the computer, the robot itself. Yeah. But like I said, it's gonna be hell to the captain. It's AI right now, but they get that
artificial general intelligence.
Yeah, it's over with. When that computer's able to think and make logical decisions on his own, it's over with out here.
That's like the one, remember when you said you're gonna go to the doctor and then the AI gonna make the prognosis for you, like doctor gonna tell you, and the AI come in, well look, you kind of sick right here. Whatever, he gonna override actually human intelligence. That's what's been projected to me.
Machine do a surgery on.
Yeah, sit here.
Fucking robot owning this shit.
Yeah.
They don't need. Hey, you niggas finna lose jobs, man. They don't need niggas to drive 18 wheelers no more. 18 wheelers go for
the self-driving trucks.
Yeah. Same thing with niggas. The doctors, everybody's finna lose, man. This dude was he's finna be some real life RoboCop shit. He's finna let these RoboCops be out here. And they already look at you niggas like the computer's gonna be racist.
Yeah. They already said facial recognition falsely misidentifies people of color. But when it comes to Edomites, it can get them right.
You gonna just look at you and say tall. Red gonna start. You gonna start
Malfunction.
They show you that too in the movie They Live. With the RoboCop stuff.
Yeah, kind of.
Like that on Predator.
Yeah, he's something.
RoboCop, anyway. Hostile.
Hostile. Yeah.
You have 20 seconds to comply.
This nigga gonna pull out something.
That bitch is forever coming out. That bitch is forever coming out.
That nigga had two of them bitches too.
Came out his legs.
That was RoboCop.
This big.
Yeah, that's an automatic pistol.
Boy, that bitch was this big.
Hey, go watch RoboCop.
All that bitch jumping. I say, oh.
And Judge Dredd. That show you how the white man get down, boy.
Judge Dredd gun could shoot 5 different explosive bullet, a fire bullet, automatic.
Boy, they gonna have that guy
That
guns. When you see it, you gonna die.
Yeah,
When you you just gonna die out,
Judge
man.
Dredd had that booty chin, and that nigga was mean.
He just always had that snarl on his face.
Yeah, I think
Sylvester
so
Stallone.
played that nigga.
That was
Played
yeah. Rocky.
punching.
And he was standing there with them knee-high ass boots and his hands on his
That was Esau's future. You remember that? That was the future.
After nuclear war,
Yeah.
they lived in mega cities, smart cities.
Yeah.
They were eating recycled food, bugs and shit.
that movie 2073. It shows that this place is completely overtaken by military state.
No, it's all military.
Yeah, everywhere. Drones, everywhere on everything. It's just totally locked down. But they say that's 2073. That's gonna be a year and a half.
Oh yeah, boy, they a recall on that motherfucker. Win back. That bitch come out.
you're holding that bitch with 2 fingers like that.
Hey, you think Paul shit was
Hey, because if you're a monkey guy,
you know,
What?
and the thing when we was looking at each other when it said that big motherfucking fire choking that motherfucker, like God damn. That motherfucking recall jumped back here after it hit. Man, come on, man.
everybody was awesome.
The hole in Jake is fucking big, man.
Any other brothers got any precepts they want to bring out?
In 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 17, it says, "For our light affliction is but for a moment, working for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory, while we look not at the things which are seen, but the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal."
You seek a continuing city. Hey, where there is no vision, the people perish. The prophets are visionaries. We can see this place coming to an end before it started coming to an end by our faith in Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. Just as David knew he was going to defeat Goliath.
What it says, a righteous man foresee the evil and hide himself.
Mhm.
So we hide ourselves, and that's when we are here to tell you. We ought to tell you so-called Negroes, Latino Americans, that imminent danger is set on its way, all right? And that you need to hide yourself and the forge and hide yourself after the Lord, man, in these scriptures. Other than that, you're going to be taken up, man. You know?
By that slayer with that glittering sword. And he's got his arm cocked. He's pulling it out of the sheath right now.
He don't battle sword in vain. He created smiths to blow the coals in the fire. His own, brother. Buddy's getting pushed. Hey, come on, bro.
What J. Cole did now. Push
Push your goddamn button.
I'm going to hit the button. I got that button on.
Got that button on.
That was nigga saying in the war, and I got that button on. Well, his button gonna be way superior than your nigga. You niggas still fucking with high points, man. What's wrong with you niggas, man?
Bad as shit.
With lasers.
$50 fucking gun. I need that. That's an ugly ass gun.
A Timu gun.
I've been like a cancer, you know. I'm this motherfucker.
Most of these niggas talking about, all the niggas talk about is a high point and a kill tip. I would never trust that shit in my life if I had to, man.
Jake gonna do it block.
Done with that a forward side on the Timu gun.
Yeah, niggas gonna get the clips off Amazon, man. What's fucking wrong with you niggas?
I have them on.
With the Skittle colors.
This a 50 round mag. Man, that bitch off Amazon. Man.
That bitch falling out. That bitch falling out.
Niggas gonna get them true glow fucking sight. I seen an old man at the range. I got a video of that shit. It's a whole main range. This nigga had every accessory you can know the man on one gun. That gun had to be at least 50 pounds. Nigga had a PPL scope, red dot, scope on top of that bitch, 2 lights. Nigga had a bunch of shit.
A bipod.
While they had a cooler on that bitch, everything.
That nigga, it's like you go on Call of Duty, they put on perk, you don't even have to limit them up.
Yeah, you
That
know.
nigga put a gun there, he like all the bitches.
Hack the gun.
Fuck. Nigga tripping, man.
But hey, back in that.
He still got the shit though. He still got the shit that gonna get the job done. You niggas spin the block with them little raglan pistols and shit. He still got some shit that gonna knock you. Lift the dust off the ground.
Knock states out the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He hit you from afar. He just put a drone and drop it.
Knock states out the way.
I was watching that show Modern Weapons. They come on TV and Esau was showing some gun at like no, I was watching those boys too. Kim Jong-un got a badass train. That boy got a train. He be going back and forth to Russia. He got a badass train. That motherfucker got all type of guns from out that bitch. He got like 50 cal come on the side, guards, all type of shit. But they were talking about was talking about this one gun. He's like, yeah, I can go spin a block. He literally said a block. Like in America, he just said, I'll wipe out the whole block. It was like an M249 or some shit.
Automatic.
Like he had them. Remember we watching Escape from Turco? Motherfucker had bullets that big and shooting shit. Remember he said he liked that clip on Escape from Turco.
Yes.
That bitch hit one nigga from one side of the car though.
And one behind.
He had him flying like this.
He was standing behind that bitch. It went through the car and took him off his feet, right? It went through the car.
Then the other dude slid and hit by the concrete barrier. That bitch put massive holes in that bitch.
Yes.
He still got the, hey man, he
all the fights.
He all the fights, man.
He a weapon. He a spirit. He was created to be a spirit, brother.
He's the
sword.
He's the sword of the Lord.
He's the sword of the Lord.
And Yahweh's what? Yahweh, the king of terrors. And he about to come down in that great wrath. That's why we don't have faith in this society. We seek the kingdom to come. And we know that if we stay faithful to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh, what? We have that chance of having that headship about us and making it through. But as for you niggas out here, you wanna vote and get caught up. Yeah, you're gonna get caught up, you're gonna get busted up, you're gonna get assed up. Hey, everything gonna be up there. Stuff there. Good riddance. Hashtag black fatigue.
Like a ball tape. Good luck.
And then what happened? Came the guy and said,
Yeah, killed everybody. Good luck.
Coming like Liam Neeson. Yes. These brothers had the close attention on me. And so with that, we hope your sincere Akim and Aquaf were edified by another live camp. And before we get out of here, as always, we're going to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors
to Yahweh by Yahweh Shai by Hashem Rakash.
Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And peace and salutations to you, sincere Akim out there, pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May brothers enduring to the end. Ababa Ball.
Ababa Ball.
Ababa Ball.
Ababa Ball.
Ababa Ball.
Ababa Ball.
Kwam Yasharala.
Kwam Yasharala.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Yes, about time for that.